Welcome back to Every Other Carl. I'm Carl, and today I'm skiing Powder Mountain in Eden, Utah. Powder Mountain is a little over an hour north of Salt Lake City. It's in a tiny little town called Eden, and the actual road up to the base is quite treacherous. We opted to take a bus from the park and ride in town, and I'd recommend that. I think it was $8. Powder is one of the most unique resorts I've ever skied. It has a very small base area that's actually more mid-mountain / top right side of the mountain. With the 13 inches of snow we had just had, the lodge felt more like an Arctic research camp. That, combined with the treacherous access road, would lead you to believe that this was a tiny ski area. But in fact, Powder is literally the largest ski area in North America by acreage. When I was here in February of 2024, they had over 8,400 skiable acres. Under the new majority owner and CEO, Reed Hastings, by the way, he co-founded Netflix, they've since expanded and now have, or are soon to have, depending on when you're watching this, over 12,000 skiable acres that they're building out. For comparison, the second largest in North America is Whistler Blackcomb, with just over 8,100 skiable acres. As I showed in my Whistler video, that resort feels endless. Or in my Vail, Colorado video, that resort feels endless. But you could fit more than 2 Vails on the footprint of Powder Mountain. But hold your horses. As I understand it, and these numbers were a bit hard to figure out, there's only 4,200 acres of lift access terrain. Over 2,000 acres of that are essentially private skiing only for Powder Mountain homeowners. You can technically ski them, but the lifts that access that terrain are private. That's these 3 lifts over here. The rest of the terrain, somewhere around 8,000 acres, is backcountry. A lot of snowcat or heli access, some is off-piste, and some hike-to or guide-led terrain. Still, suffice to say, this ski area is enormous. If I'm wrong on any of these numbers, by the way, please feel free to correct me in the comments. Powder also has very strict daily skier limits and is well known to be one of the least busy ski resorts in the world. When I was there, Powder was on the Indy Pass, but they have since left the pass and only sell their own tickets. But they still have one of the cheapest day passes in Utah at $109. You better schedule your ski day in advance, though. All right, let's get back to skiing the mountain. As you can tell from my footage, the weather just didn't cooperate this day. Visibility was some of the worst I've ever experienced, and the temperature fluctuated dramatically from heavy snowfall to thick clouds of fog. Even so, the skiing was incredible. Powder has a 3,436-foot vertical drop. It has 163 named runs with 15% beginner, 29% intermediate, and 56% advanced terrain. They don't blow snow here. It's all natural. When I was here, this Lightning Ridge chair and area was not open, but this adds some amazing lift access expert terrain. My wife and I skied from the lodge down to the Paradise Express and over to the Hidden Lake Express, and took a break at the Hidden Lake Lodge to have lunch and do my obligatory chicken finger and fry review. I do this at almost every resort I review. Their tenders were pretty standard quality-wise, but extremely expensive. The fries and tenders were sold separately and came to a total of $23, making them the second most expensive of any resort I've ever reviewed. By the way, please take a moment to subscribe and check out my other ski videos. Another, by the way, this whole day I was rocking these ski gloves that were sent to me by a company called Kemi-moto. They're pretty inexpensive on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description. I've tried some of Kemi-moto's other gear, and I generally like their stuff. These gloves have a little pocket for a pass, they have touch-sensitive fingertips, and they kept me cozy all day. Like I said, check them out at the link in the description. Thanks, Kemi-moto. After our lunch, we went back out into the snow to continue our journey. We took a couple runs off the Hidden Lake Express. It was a combo of clean groomers and beautiful fresh powder. Alright, I've been skiing for a couple hours now. If you can believe it, there's mountain behind me. I believe this is supposed to be a great view, but the conditions today are ridiculous. We did get like 13 inches of snow in the last couple days, which is awesome, but it warmed up a little bit and we just have this fog, or we're in a cloud, and it is, I don't know, I have very seldomly skied with less visibility, so not the best day for me to experience powder. But still, what I have seen and the few times the sun has shone through is pretty spectacular. And what they say about not having lift lines, very true. And natural powder everywhere. Even though it's been a couple days since the big storm, there are so many patches of fresh powder. It's incredible. So this place definitely deserves its name. After a few more runs off of Hidden Valley, we then took the Lodge Trail all the way back to the base to finish our day. Even though the weather was crazy, powder was still epic. That's going to do it for Powder Mountain, at least this trip. I think I'll definitely be back here, maybe on a less rainy, better visibility day. But it was pretty great. Until next time, I'm every other crawl. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see ya.